Hi there everyone, my name's Deborah from GoVolHerts and thank you for joining me today for the first virtual volunteer fair of 2025. It's cold and it's foggy outside, but we should have some great organisations here to talk to you. They're going to tell you a little bit about what they do as an organisation and then talk to you about their volunteering roles. If you're able to stay on to the end, I'm just going to give you a whistle-stop tour of how to search for a role on GoVolHerts. So some great organisations coming up. We have MCR Pathways are going to be kicking us off, followed by the St Albans Good Neighbour Scheme. And then we have Hertsmere Mencap, and Karen has kindly found some volunteers from that organisation to talk to us, because our volunteer coordinators are all fantastic and they can tell you about the roles, but the volunteers can tell you what they get out of it as well. And if you're looking to a volunteer, that's going to be quite important to you. We were due to have Phoebe from the Guide Dogs for the Blind Association, but sadly she's not very well today. So we'll just share some quick information about them, and hopefully Phoebe will be able to join us at an event later this year to tell you about what they do. We then have Help for the Homeless, the British Film Institute, and then finishing off with Gemma from Sue Ryder. And Gemma has also very kindly found some volunteers just to talk a bit about their experience in volunteering, just to give you a real idea of what it's like and what they get out of it. And as I say, at the end, I will just do a quick overview for you of how you can go on the GoVolHerts platform and search for a role. Hopefully something today might tickle your fancy and you can get in contact with those organisations. They'd love to hear from you. But if not, we have got over 450 organisations in and around Hertfordshire using the platform. So I really do hope that there's something there for everyone. Anyway, that's enough from me. Let's hear from these fantastic charities about the work they do and about their volunteering roles. I'm going to give them 5 minutes, and if they overrun, I'm going to have to shout at them. So, you know, let's keep it short and let's keep it punchy. And if people want more information, we're going to put some links in the chat so they know where to go. But kicking us off today, we have Ernest from MCR Pathways. So Ernest, if you give us, are you okay to share your presentation? I think Mandeep has just put it up for you, if that's okay. So 5 minutes to tell us all about your organisation and about your volunteering roles. Okay.
Yes, of course, that's great, and thank you so much, Deborah. And I want to thank all the organizers because of time. Thank you for having us, and a very good afternoon is now to everyone who is here today. My name is Ernest from MCR Pathways. I've got 5 minutes, so I'm just gonna get straight into the presentation. So MCR Pathways is a charity that support young people with mentoring. These young people are young people who have disadvantaged backgrounds or less privileged backgrounds, or the young people who are in care. And these young people don't progress to positive destination with some sort of support. So our vision is that every young person, irrespective of their circumstances, will get the same education outcomes, career opportunities, and life chances. So we are giving every single young person that has a bad start in life or a challenging start in life, an opportunity to be able to progress to positive destination. And over the years, what we've done is that we have used measures like school attendance, educational attainment, post-school destinations, increased confidence and engagement, and the well-being of the young people to measure how successful the program has been and the impact that it's having on them. And it's always gone high. If a young person joins our program who is having challenges with school attendance, because of time, I couldn't bring you some of the impact report, but if you're interested, I can send it to you. You can contact me. I'll send you a survey that we ran last year. Attendance always goes up, school attainment always increases, and post-school destination also goes up when a young person joins our program and they are matched with a mentor. All right, let me just tell you the program in a nutshell. Now, the program in a nutshell is that we have a member of staff who is based in the school. It's a pathway coordinator based in the school. Then that member of staff would work with a young person in year 7 into year 8. Then when the young person gets to year 9, they are matched with a mentor. The mentor is a member of staff, a member of the public that cares and has compassion, like you're on the platform online this afternoon, who would see the young person an hour a week, 10 time only, to support them. Now the program is completely voluntary for the young people. It's their choice to join, really. And next slide, please. So the mentoring itself takes place in school during school term, and the way it works is that the young person's timetable would have a young person's timetable, and you would be able to schedule your meetings 1 hour a week, and we ask for a minimum of a year, an academic year, so that you could stay with a young person to complete an academic year with them. Now, mentors are carefully matched, based on common interest, personality, and the mentor's own experiences. So there isn't any kind of disconnection. So you want to make sure that you would have a connection with a young person. You have a lot to talk about, being it an interest area or being it a hobby that you both enjoy doing. So that way you can support the young person more, because you would have a connection with them. So this afternoon, they ask for us as MCR Pathways is that, next slide, please. Could you mentor a young person like this? Could you volunteer an hour a week, spare an hour a week, and see a young person progress to positive destination? That's the ask that we have on the table, and it'll be lovely to hear from you. Next slide, please. So if you're looking at your screen, there is a QR code on your screen at the moment that you can scan. If you scan the QR code and feel that you are interested, even if you want more information, if you scan that QR code with your phone, your camera, it will generate a form. Just fill the form for us, and we will send you more information if that's what you're looking for, or if you're interested and you want to, start, mentoring and supporting a young person right away. We will also be able to, help you progress to support a young person. But just wanted to know before, I sign out this afternoon that we are particularly in need of mentors across Stevenage. We have 5 schools in Stevenage that we work with. We have schools in Cheshunt, we have schools in Hertford, and Watford as well, Hemel and Trink. But particularly we need a lot of mentors or volunteers to support our young people in Stevenage schools, which are 5 schools that are based there. So if you can help, we would be really, really excited and glad to have you on board, to have a young person that we can support. Thank you so much, for having me this morning. We are really grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Ernest. Brilliant. I didn't have to stop you or anything. I'm so happy. So that's MCR Pathways. If you've got an hour a week, not a big time commitment, you could really make the difference to a life of a young person. And as I said, all over the county in lots of different places, particularly looking at people, if you're in or around the Stevenage area at the moment, there's a particular need there. So that's great volunteering opportunity. And if you want more information, Ernest is always happy to talk to anyone about the work that they do. So do get in touch. My colleague Mandeep will hopefully post a link in the chat, which will take you to the page on GoVolHerts for MCR Pathways. So if you want to have a bit of a read about the organisation there and about the volunteering opportunities, and you can either from there or you can click to ask Ernest a question, or if you think you're interested, you can click on the join button in any opportunity on GoVolHerts. That's not committing you to anything, but the volunteer coordinator will get in touch with you, and you can get a bit more information and find out if it's a role that's going to work for you, because all these organisations would love more volunteers, but the volunteering role has got to work for them and it's got to work for you, and they want you to be happy in the volunteering role and get something out of it as well. And if something doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. Maybe there's something else out there for you. Anyway, moving swiftly on, because we're having a whistle stop tour today. So thank you again, Ernest. But we're now going to Patrick from St Albans Good Neighbour Scheme. And Mandeep, are you okay to share the slides for Patrick? Thank you, Mandeep.
Hi, good afternoon. Can everyone hear me?
I can hear you, yep.
Good. Okay. Yeah, my name is Patrick. I'm a trustee for St Albans Good Neighbours, but I'm also a volunteer for St Albans Good Neighbours. I drive for St Albans Good Neighbours, and I'm also a duty officer. So the St Albans Good Neighbours is a St Albans-based charity that helps residents with lifts, shopping, odd jobs, and befriending. Next slide, please. Our aim is to be a dependable good neighbour to any local resident who needs help. That is particularly older people who may be unwell, isolated, or dealing with a difficult situation and would benefit from our assistance. We help residents in the following areas: St Albans, Brookett Wood, Triswell Green, Coney Heath, London Coney, Park Street and Sandridge. Next slide, please. Look, very briefly about our history. We were launched in 1980 with 80 volunteers. The original impetus came from the St Albans Council of Churches. Now, over 40 years later, we have 1,200 clients and 140 volunteers. Next slide, please. So what we do, we drive. We take clients to medical and social appointments and then take them home. We ensure clients get to the right clinic in the hospital, i.e., I suppose, the cardiology ward at Watford Hospital, etc., etc. We offer practical help in the form of gardening, odd jobs, putting up a shelf in a house, retuning a TV, sorting out a mobile phone for someone. We also do shopping for clients who are unable to shop for themselves. This can involve picking up a list and going and doing the shopping for the client and bringing the shopping back to the client's house. Or sometimes we actually take the client shopping with us. Lastly, we do befriending, which is chatting with someone who would benefit from a weekly conversation. We have befriending partnerships. Next slide, please. So the roles we have, volunteer roles, we have 7 trustees on our main board who agree the charity strategy. We have section leaders to run each section on an operational basis. We have 15 regular shopping partnerships. Driving, we do 35 to 40 jobs every week. We have the befriending team, befrienders who pair and visit with our clients, and duty officers who cover the phones every day of the year. That includes Christmas Day, generally booking up to 8 jobs each day, which is bigger than it seems because you have to phone through a lot of drivers to get the jobs matched up. Next slide, please. Facts and figures, shopping pairs. We have 15 regular shopping pairs at present. We also have volunteers who do one-off shops. Befriending partnerships, we have 25 active pairs. Journeys, we do about 150 per month. And practical help is about 120 jobs per year, more during the summer because there's a lot of gardening jobs. Next one, please. So, on to the volunteer. So what do volunteers get out of it? Well, you get the chance to transform lives, change lives, helping isolated people. People shouldn't feel isolated. Making a positive people is very rewarding for the volunteer. Helping people generally makes you feel good. Our clients are always so grateful when you've given them some help. It really makes you feel good when you've taken them to an appointment at Watford Hospital, dropped them off, and they are so grateful. It makes you feel really good. Being a volunteer is also good for your mental health. And when you reflect on, say, a charity, any charity here, it's amazing what you can do when you get together and help your local community as a group. Next slide, please.
About 1 minute, Patrick, if that's okay.
What? I've got to go quicker then, sorry. Okay, so some of the testimonials about the clients, okay. This is what some of the clients have said about. I was taken to Hemel Hospital for an appointment by a new member of your group. His name was Jag. My grateful thanks to him was he was so friendly, so kind and so helpful. I couldn't have found anyone better. Joan Collins, another client, phoned in with her heartfelt thanks. Mrs. Hill phoned to express her gratitude for one of our drivers, Colin, and to everyone in the scheme. Do you want to go to the next slide and I'll miss a couple out? So we're running out of time. Volunteers, it remains a privilege to be a part of St Albans Good Neighbours, which is a quote from one of our volunteers. Our charity lends a hand to the community and it needs and gives a sense of belonging and well-being for volunteers. Another quote from a volunteer: "Missing my elderly parents, being a good neighbour gives me valuable time with the older generation. Being with our clients gives a pocket full of giving back and shared feeling of gratitude. Clients praise their support when they find themselves in life's difficult situations. I find that helping people via the scheme is definitely the gift that keeps on giving back for me personally." Next slide, please. I'm fascinated by some of the conversations I have with clients. Recently, I learned about the early aircraft industry in St Albans and about the British Army's role in the Greek Civil War. Next slide, please. But these are some of the stories from our befriending ones. I really do want to share these. I'm sorry I'm running out of time. One lonely gent who missed his wife and dog has been really cheered up by a volunteer who brings his own dog along to entertain him. And they often take a walk to a local pub. One volunteer helped his client build up a story of his family via ancestry.com to trace back his family to the 1700s. The same client had never been abroad in his life, and the volunteer took him on the Eurostar to Paris for the day. Another client, suddenly bedridden by a stroke with a lively mind, is very cheered by the conversations with the volunteer, feeling common ground for chat since they both have a technical background. We'll go to the final slide now. We'll miss the next one. It's the same.
As I said, we will be sharing these slides later,
Yeah,
so
okay.
if anyone wants to have a better view of those. But
Yeah.
it's obviously great to hear testimonials from service users and from clients. Patrick has said they've got quite a few different roles there.
Yeah,
So
can I just say about this?
quite flexible.
Yeah, can I just say, flexible volunteering. So one of our big things is that we are flexible. You can help when you want, when you can. You may only drive one transport job a month. You're only a duty officer one day a month. So help us for as much as you can, when you can. Our volunteers have a great feeling of belonging. We value our volunteers. Remember, small acts equal a big impact. You can reach us on the phone number, or you can go to the GoVolHerts website, or you can go to our website, St Albans Good Neighbours. Thanks very much for listening. Sorry I overrun.
Thank you, Patrick. And Mandy will post a link in the chat, so you can go straight to the GoVolHerts page for St Albans Good Neighbour Scheme. And if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask Patrick, because I'm sure he'd love to hear from you. And again, really nice, flexible variety of roles. You could get involved in one thing or maybe a couple of different things, so a lot of variety there, and great to hear about what that organisation is up to. So thank you again, Patrick. Next on our agenda, we have Karen, who's joining us today from Hertsmere Mencap. Hi, Karen. Karen, you also have a volunteer with you.
Yes.
So as you've got a volunteer with you, between you, we're going to give you 10 minutes so you can tell us again about your organisation, about your volunteering roles, and then we can hear from your volunteer, from their perspective, what they get out of volunteering and anything else they feel like telling us. So amazing. 10 minutes for the two of you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm Karen. I'm the volunteer manager at Hertsmere Mencap, and this is one of my wonderful volunteers, Alex. I do have a presentation. If you're welcome to pop it up. Hertsmere Mencap began in 1964 by a group of local parents who had children with learning disabilities, and they basically felt there was nothing on offer to support them and their children. So then came along Hertsmere Mencap. Our mission is quite simply to transform the lives of people with learning disabilities and their families, and help our members to feel a sense of belonging and inclusivity. And it's very important to us that our members feel like they are part of something, they're learning new skills, they're making new friends, and we're reducing the feelings of loneliness and isolation. So since 1964, we're still small, but we are very fierce. We've now got 6 trustees as of last week. We've got 4 part-time staff. We've got 5 session leaders who run our activities, and we have over 40 very wonderfully dedicated volunteers who work both behind the scenes and face-to-face. And we base ourselves in Boreham Wood. Next slide, please. So what do Hertsmere Mencap do? So it's twofold. The first thing we do is we run 5 daytime activities every morning, and our sessions focus on art, music, drama, dance, and a drop-in coffee morning. This is for our adults. We have 2 evening sessions, an adult social club and a youth club. We also have a provision for children. So we run a children's holiday club during the holidays for 5 to 16-year-olds. And lately we've started increasing our children's activities. So we now run during half term a club for 15 to 19-year-olds, and on a Saturday morning once a month, Saturday afternoon once a month, we run an under 10s stay and play session. The other really important part of Hertsmere Mencap is support. So we offer a lot of support to our members and their families, and we are all about our members. They are at the heart of what we do, and to many of our members, we are their family.
I think we might have lost Karen there. She seems to have frozen. So hopefully she'll be able to reconnect in a minute and rejoin us. But yeah, she
frozen now.
You just frozen us there, Karen. Oh, are you on? You're either on mute or we've lost the sound.
Oh.
Can
you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you? Okay. So
yeah, you froze for a few. Well, it felt like 10 minutes, but I think it might have been 10 seconds.
Oh, so I was just summing up by saying our members are at the heart of what we do, and we are very, very much family to a lot of our members. So in terms of volunteering, we have the most wonderful, incredible team of volunteers who give up their time, but they also love doing so. And you'll hear from Alex, but so many of them leave our activities feeling so inspired and rewarded and with just such a lovely feeling. So what are the main areas we're looking for at the moment? If you can just put on the next slide, that would be great. So the first one we're looking for, we're really keen to get more volunteers at our evening social club on a Tuesday night. It's a long running club. It's been going for about 40 years and it's very much loved. It requires 2 hours a week on a Tuesday night in Borehamwood from 7 till 9. And it's very much about engaging with our members, having fun, being part of a community and enhancing your skills too. So that's the first volunteer role we're particularly looking at. And then if you wouldn't mind going to the next slide. We're also looking for minibus drivers. So on a Tuesday night, we have a minibus which takes our local Borehamwood members to our Jubilee Club. And it's really good fun. We have a lovely sing-along with our members. There's an escort on board that helps the minibus drivers navigate. And it allows our members to comfortably and securely come along to us in the evening. So it's part of a rota. So you probably would only be doing it once every 6 weeks. So that's on a Tuesday night. And then on a Thursday night, our members once a month go to St Albans Mencap for their social club. So so there's a Tuesday and a Thursday that we are looking at minibus drivers. So just to sum up, this is an example of just to give you a feel for what we do. You can see a lot of happy faces, a lot of activity, and you can feel the warmth even through the pictures. So we're looking for 2 hours a week to make a difference. We want friendly, patient people that like to have fun. And what you will receive in return is meaningful and rewarding experiences. But really, to understand it, I will pass you over to our wonderful Alex.
Hi everyone, my name's Alex Jacobs and I'm a volunteer and committee member at Hertsmere Mencap. I do have a history of volunteering. I've been a lay visitor at Borehamwood Police Station when it existed. I was appointed by the Home Secretary as a member of the Independent Monitoring Board at HMP The Mount in Hemel. I was a games maker in 2012. During COVID, I became a listening befriender on the NHS volunteering listening scheme. When I used to work for BT, I was a union rep, and for the last 3 years, I've been at Hertsmere Mencap. What do I bring to Mencap and volunteering in general? Well, I think over the years, my business experience and my volunteering experience has given me many transferable skills, and I like to keep those skills up with regular training and keeping abreast of new practices and legislation. We have lots of training at Hertsmere Mencap, and it's always of a high quality and something that you can use going forward all the time. I continue to support vulnerable people, which as an ex-union rep, I find very satisfying, helping them maybe at coffee morning navigate through the systems of a very large organisation if they are unsure of which pathway they should be following, helping them to get a doctor's appointment if they need it. Basically other activities I do at coffee morning would be serve teas and coffees. It's a social, and it's about our members being helped and supported on any issues that they may have and getting them on the pathway to resolution. If we can't solve it at volunteer level, then we pass it over to Karen and the Mencap members of staff. On Friday, I am a dance volunteer at Mencap. It's just a privilege to see people who maybe when they first join us are, scared to say boo to a goose and won't get out of their chair. And then you see them a couple of months down the line performing flash dances in Tesco's or other dancing at other Mencap activities. For me, that is such a tangible, measurable result that it just, it warms the heart, basically. I've also started working and volunteering. I say working, volunteering. It's a joy to be there at Holiday Club and working with the kids. We take them to the pantomime, we take them to activities. During the hot weather, we have water fights, and I end up getting completely drenched and just staying in wet clothes probably for the whole day. It's just, it's just brilliant. I can't tell you how brilliant it is in words. It's so great to get feedback from members of service users, families, to say how much they enjoy and seeing the progress that their members or their family members have actually achieved since they've started using the services that we provide. I also think what makes a good volunteer, I think from my point of view, you need to be relatable, friendly, motivated, inclusive, kind, all the key words, supportive and compassionate. But I also think it takes commitment, and you need to be committed. It's not fair to the organisation if you say you're going to be the Friday volunteer and every week something else occurs and you can't, fulfil that commitment. It lets our members down, it lets you down, and it lets the organisation down. Most of our activities have ratios where we have to have certain numbers of volunteers, and if we can't, fulfill the commitment, then maybe, if another volunteer can't be found at short notice, then that lets the members down, and they really, really suffer as a result of that activity not going ahead. So I say commitment is probably one of the top things you really need to be a good volunteer. And also, if you're thinking about volunteering, try and pick a subject or a topic that you are passionate about. You will get so much more from it. If you say, for example, you like gardening, you find a gardening role so that your interest in it and your joy for that subject shows and bleeds out for the service user to sort of absorb, and they get something from it as well, and then it doesn't become a chore. Okay, the more you put in to any to any volunteering activity, the more you will get out of it, and that personally for me, the rewards are immense. Since I've joined Mencap, they have become my second family. And you know, for me, the benefits I get out of it are immeasurable, really. I love it. And I'm really glad that I took the opportunity to answer an advert that Karen put out a couple of years ago. So thank you.
We're very lucky to have Alex.
Oh, bless her. I'd like to say thank you for having me on this call.
Thank you very much for joining us, Alex, and giving us the perspective of a volunteer. You sound like, you know, I don't know how you have time to do anything else. You spend so much time volunteering, but it's great that it makes you feel good. As you said, absolutely find a volunteering role that it's got to work for you in terms of time commitment, but also something that, you know, it's like, oh, I feel like I should do something. No, it's got to be doing something that's going to make you feel good as well. And it's okay to get things out of being a volunteer, such as, you know, you adding to your CV or something like that. That's fine. It doesn't have to be purely altruistic, I think is what we're trying to say. But yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. And thank you to Karen as well for sharing with us all about the fantastic work you do and all the volunteering roles you have. I think Mandeep has already shared the link in the chat. So if you are interested, want to find out a bit more information, have a look on the GoVolHerts page and get in touch with Karen, because I'm sure she'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. We were due to hear from Phoebe at Guide Dogs for the Blind next. As I said earlier, unfortunately, Phoebe's not very well and unable to join us today. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen. If I press the right button, that would help, wouldn't it? And I'm going to share this page. So this is just very, very quickly. This is the Guide Dogs page on GoVolHerts. I will ask Mandeep to share the link in the chat as well. So an organisation, I think they've changed their logo and they've changed their name, but the big national organisation you might all have heard of, who help people predominantly with sight loss using the guide dogs, which I'm sure we've all seen out and about at various times. And just have a very, very quick look at their opportunities here, just really showing you cute pictures of dogs. I mean, who doesn't love a cute picture of a dog? So people to help puppy raising, people to help there with their fundraising, respite, puppy raisers all over in various places. So just a very quick look at the roles that they have available, if any of those happen to be of interest to you. Obviously, we're sorry that Phoebe couldn't join us today, so we hope she'll join us at a future event, and we can hear a bit more about what that organisation gets up to. But I hope that's given you a very brief idea. I'll stop sharing that now and we will crack on. So next up we have Angela, who's from Help for the Homeless. Hi there, Angela. So she's going to tell us about what her organisation does and how you could get involved in volunteering. Again, we'll share the link to their GoVolHerts page in the chat just to make it really simple for you to find out some more information. But your 5 minutes starts now, Angela.
Lovely, thank you. I just want to share my screen, but it's not letting me, so that's not good, is it? It's not showing me the content I want. Let me, hopefully. Can you see anything? Can you see any slides or anything?
I'm on mute. I've just changed your status, so you might be able to share now, Angela. Do you want to give it another go?
Oh, okay, thank you.
All these systems work in slightly different ways if you're on Teams.
It says only meeting organisers and presenters can share.
Okay. Where are you in my list of people? Okay. Yeah, it's giving me the option to make you a presenter now.
Okay.
So hopefully that will work. Apologies for the delay, everyone. No, is that not working for you?
No, it usually clicks, doesn't it, to show you.
Yeah, there's in the top right hand corner, there's an option that says share.
Yeah, no,
there we go. I can see we can see your desktop now.
Okay.
There we go. Brilliant.
Good. Sorry about that. Let me just put it onto that. and then that's the wrong way round, isn't it? So can you see full page there? Hello?
Yeah, that's fine, Angela.
Cool. Okay. Yes, so I'm Angela Ward from the Help for the Homeless. I'm the charity admin and head of fundraising. It's a role that I've recently taken up on a volunteering part-time basis. And I got involved with the charity about a year ago now. Went to some networking that I do with my day job and met the founders, Lloyd and Shoshana Gilmore, at a couple of the networking events that I do. Was really inspired by what they do and how they do it and everything. I've always wanted to do something with a homeless charity, because years ago I was commuting into London and I met a young girl who was sitting at the top of the stairs at King's Cross, and she was evidently homeless, carrying her little sort of weekend trolley bag, and was begging for food and everything. And my daughter at the time was about her age, and I just thought, oh my goodness, that so could easily be my daughter. Why is she there? What's her backstory? So I always vowed when the opportunity arose that I would do something with the homeless. And I'm at a stage in my life now where I can offer some time. So just to give you, that's a bit about me. The charity's been running 8 years as of this month. As I said, founded by Lloyd and Shoshana Gilmore, who are based in Boreham Wood. And Shoshana's story was very much the same as mine. Saw a homeless man in a park in Watford, in Cassio-Berry Park, and wanted to help. And from then on, she went back to him with some sandwiches and clothes, and decided that she needed to do something, and realised there was a huge amount of people on the streets in London that needed our help. So started going out on a Thursday with a couple of friends, just delivering some sandwiches and hot soup. And it's expanded to where it is now, which is basically looking after our friends on the street in central London, but also helping families with hardship around the Boreham Wood area. And that's giving them food and clothing if required, some toiletries, and just, the whole idea is that to prevent those people from becoming truly homeless and becoming on the streets. So that's the way round that we want to do this. So we're looking for individuals that can, share anything between an hour and maybe 4 or 5 hours a week. So we have lots of different roles available, from helping in a kitchen on a Thursday afternoon in Harrowfield Tennis Club, to coming out with us on a Thursday night to deliver the food and the clothes. As you can see, we're doing this. We meet outside the IOD in Pall Mall, and then we see about 150 to 200 people, and we give them hot food and sandwiches and cakes and soup, and just and a great variety of food as well. And then during the week, currently Lloyd and Shoshana are out every single day, either collecting goods, collecting food, and then redistributing it to families on hardship around the Boreham Wood area. So we're looking for volunteers that can take on some of those shifts, really. So if there's anybody on this call that would be interested in doing that, then we would love to hear from you. The people that we look at, they've got so many varied backstories, from having a bad childhood and being in care, and then being kicked out of care at sort of 16, and they find themselves onto the streets, to having addictions and mental health troubles. So there's lots of different people that we see, but they just love to see us, and one of the things that they say about us is that we give engaging conversation, and we treat them like humans and not just like a number. Some of the soup kitchens that go out just throw the food at people and don't have any interaction. We're not like that. We actually walk the streets and talk to the individuals, and they love that contact and the service that we offer. There's over 4,000 people homeless in London at the moment, and that number has gone up by 27% in the last year or so. So although I know Prince William is trying to do everything that he can to, reduce homelessness, we're never going to alleviate it all, because some people are quite happy to live on the streets. And what we try to do is make their time on the street a little bit better and give them some clothes and food and toiletries, just to make that whole experience a bit better. So that's a bit about us and what we do. If you'd like to know more, then please do reach out to me. These are our contact details, the mobile or email. We're obviously on the GoVolHerts network, and you can find out more information about us there. So yeah, thank you very much for your time. I look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you very much, Angela. That's great to hear about all the work you're doing. Like you say, we can't solve all the world's problems, but we can all make a small difference. So even if someone's got just only an hour a week they could spare, they can still make an impact, still maybe change someone's life. You don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, certainly make someone's life better. People homeless through no fault of their own, and obviously you're also helping people who are in a bad way and potentially at risk of homelessness, and making their lives a bit better as well. So yeah, really, really great to hear about the work that you're doing.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Mandeep has just posted the link in the chat if you want to go to the Help for the Homeless page on GoVolHerts, and you can get in touch with Angela through there and have a little bit of a look at what they do if you feel like you want some more information on that. And as I say, either apply to join the role if you think you're interested, or ask Angela for some more information. I'm sure she'll be glad to get in touch with you and have a bit more of a chat about that and how you could help. So that is Help for the Homeless. And next up, we have the British Film Institute, who another new organisation to GoVolHerts. So I'm really looking forward to hearing a bit more about what they do and the volunteering roles they have. Is Paola here? Sorry, I'm going to mispronounce your name.
Hi, it's Paola. Hi.
Paola, sorry.
That's all right. If Mandeep, would you be able to share my slides, please?
When did you send your slides over, Paola?
They were sent. So I'd sent a link, but it didn't work. So unfortunately, I quickly sent over a new one. Realizing
I hadn't seen them. So have you got them that you can share?
Yes, I can share.
If I let me find you on the list of participants, and if I just change your status. Oh no, Mandeep has them. What a star. Thank you, Mandeep.
Thank you so much. So hi everyone, my name is Paola Martucci. I'm the Volunteer and Outreach Coordinator at the BFI, which is also known as the British Film Institute. Next slide, please, Mandy. So this year we've been really fortunate to set up a new volunteer scheme with the BFI, and kind of brief introduction to what that means and what we are aiming to do is that we are dedicated to creating exciting, supportive and beneficial volunteer opportunities for members of the community. And this is specifically based for members of the community in Hertfordshire. So our archives are based in Berkhamsted, and that's where the volunteering opportunities will be taking place. We have a huge archive full of film ephemera, from posters, costumes, props, scripts, director's notes. We even have Oscars in there if anyone's a fan of award ceremonies. The thing is, we have this huge, massive archive with all this stuff. And whilst we try to encourage and engage people to connect with the arts, there's just so much stuff and so many things that we need to get through, and so many stories hidden within those archives that we want to uncover and unfold. So we aim to widen the knowledge and access of our archives through the support of volunteers. We want to support volunteers into gaining employment skills or any kind of opportunity, transferable skills they're looking to learn or engage with, that can either support their kind of future career opportunities or kind of personal goals that they may have. And we want to connect the wider community together and with us. So we've been in Hertfordshire for a very long time, but not many people know we're there, and we want to introduce people to us and get people involved with us. So the next slide, please. So a bit of a brief introduction about who we are. So the BFI is a cultural charity, a national lottery distributor, and the UK's lead organisation for film and the moving image. Our goals is to encourage the development of the arts, and whether that's through helping people learn a new kind of interest and passion into creating their own form of arts and moving image, whether they want to make their own films, whether they want to take part in some sort of film role or skill, whether that's behind the camera, in front of the camera, whether it's television, moving image, anything around the sort of arts in film making and film production. The volunteer roles will specifically be connected to the special collections team, and this is a team that I'm a part of, and it's in the special collections archives include the papers of individuals, organisations, stills, film posters, costumes, production designs, animation sales and promotional material, all to do with British film from the last 100 years plus. We have so many wonderful things that you can connect with, so many different parts of film history in our archives for people to engage with. Next slide, please. So the archive is dedicated to conserving and restoring film and film screencraft materials to ensure the history of British film is perpetually celebrated, explored, researched and understood. Film is a fantastic source to learn from and engage with for researchers in history and beyond, and our work ensures that British history throughout film is not forgotten. Our archive material is visited by hundreds of researchers, guests, visitors and tours throughout the year, and staff ensure that the collections are easily ready for use. Next slide, please. So our volunteering roles. We are offering several new volunteering projects for the first time in 2025. These roles include completing tasks in our film poster room. So we have a massive vault filled with British and beyond film posters, and we want volunteers to come in, engage with these film posters, help identify them, help to track them, help to fill them out on our databases, and ensure they're all correctly housed and keeping that connection of British film history there. We're also looking to have some volunteers come in to go through our vast collections, because we are encouraged and we want to connect with local communities in Hertfordshire, whether that be schools. We are connected with kind of mental health trusts and communities, recovery communities, and we want to bring our archive materials to these places and help people connect with them, understand them and learn from them, whether that's to support kind of reading, writing, any kind of office and employable skills. We want people to see our film kind of ephemera and learn from it and be encouraged by it and inspired by it. We also have record collection roles coming up soon, and then future roles around tours and delivering tours and being a part of the tours that are held at the archive. Sorry, next slide. The volunteers will get the opportunity to learn employable skills through their tasks with us, such as how to use Word, Microsoft 365 and Excel. They will be receiving support from a volunteer coordinator who's passionate about shaping the best roles to fit their needs. That will also include kind of feedback sessions where the volunteers can have a say in how they want their roles to take place and what they want to gain and learn from the role in more detail. That includes kind of interacting with and talking with film industry professionals. They'll also be able to re-enter or experience for the first time a work office environment, interact with staff and assimilate into work-life culture, and have an opportunity to have their voices heard in a warm and friendly, low-pressure environment.
We have about a minute left, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. So why we care? So we're committed to being a good neighbour in our community. We understand the difficulties when it comes to things like trying to get back into employment, trying to learn new skills, trying to get involved in volunteer roles when you may not feel the most confident or kind of want to connect with that. I myself started out as a volunteer before I got into working as a volunteer coordinator, and before that I was a very shy person and I'm very afraid to kind of talk, very afraid to sort of go for a new role, apply for jobs, all those sorts of things. We want to share our knowledge and skill. You know, there's such an importance in having these kind of skills that we know and being able to pass them on to other people and inspire passion in people, and we want to help people learn and develop their abilities. So the last slide, this is just about kind of the benefits of volunteering with us. So again, kind of learning new transferable skills, gaining confidence. There's a chance to give back to the community when we kind of go out and connect with schools and recovery services. You can interact with like-minded people and speak with people who may have an interest in film or film culture. You'll receive support from us. You'll be supporting the screen heritage of the future. So the film history that is created and gets continued to be created, you will have a part in that. And of course, interact with screencraft materials such as posters, scripts. We have some really cool costume design stuff in there, and you can have access to and see all of that and engage with it. So thank you. The last slide just has my email address on there and our website, on the BFI website, if you want to have a look on there. And we also currently have the film poster roll up on GoVolHerts, and our new rolls will be coming out as the weeks go on.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Paola.
Thank you.
Mandy, if she hasn't already, will post the link to the BFI page on GoVolHerts, so you can find that easily, and then through there you'll be able to connect to their website or apply for the roles there. But yeah, really, really fascinating. You know, all the stuff you have in the archive. You know, not stuff perhaps you don't think of, and a volunteering role that people think volunteering or old ladies in charity shops is very, very stereotypical, but that, I mean, as well as some of the other roles we've had today, it just goes to show what a range of volunteering opportunities there are. And you've talked a little bit there about volunteering as a way back into employment for some people, or younger people, something to put on their CV for the first time, which are all absolutely reasons to volunteer. And you've talked about confidence as well. Like me having to come on and do these, it's like, oh no, I can't do that, I'm too shy. No, you can. So yeah, we can all do things, and sometimes we can do things we didn't expect we could do. So that's a great lesson for us all. And you know, you've got there from volunteering, and that's led you into a job that it looks like you enjoy. Certainly talking very passionately about it. So that's absolutely a fantastic opportunity there. Really, really interesting. So thank you very much for joining us and sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have one more organisation with us today. We have Gemma from Sue Ryder, and I believe Gemma is also joined by some volunteers who are going to talk about their experiences. So hi Gemma, are you there? I can't see everyone on my screen.
Everyone else can see me. So my name's Gemma. I'm the volunteer coordinator for Sue Ryder. We are quite a large organisation. I will try and share my screen if I'm able to. Can I?
Yeah, hold on. I will just. I think I have to adjust your settings if you bear with me. Okay. So I've made your presenter, so you should be able to share your screen now. And if you and your volunteers want to talk to us, you've got 10 minutes, and we're looking forward to hearing what you've got to tell us.
Okay, I'm hoping that you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see that, thanks.
Not sure if that's changed. Perfect. Okay, so who are Sue Ryder and what do we do? A lot of people have heard of us, but not necessarily know what we raise money for. So we are primarily a hospice and bereavement support charity. We support people all over the UK with life-limiting conditions and their families at the end stages of their life. We have 6 hospices throughout the UK in Reading, Gloucestershire, Oxenhope, Bedfordshire, Peterborough, Leeds, South Oxfordshire, and we also have a support hub for people who are at the end of their life, where they can go with their families as well. And we also do hospice in the home in those areas too. We also offer grief kind spaces in communities and towns throughout the UK, and they are places which open once a week, and everyone who is bereaved and looking for support or signposting to our services or different services can come together and chat with people going through like-minded things, and they're facilitated by a counsellor and also our trained volunteers to offer support in those places too. If you'd like to know where those places are, you can look on our Sue Ryder website and turn up or refer yourself if you need support there. Online, we also offer bereavement support through our online forum, where you can chat and post about maybe what's happened to you and get support, or just support other people if you've come out the other side. We also offer free counselling sessions as well to those who need it, 1 hour sessions, usually delivered over Teams by our trained and qualified counsellors. We usually offer about 8 services, and you're referred within 8 weeks, I think the time scale is, and you can self-refer. All of that is offered free of charge for the person requesting it. So yeah, it's completely free to our service users, and all of that is funded by our shops on the high streets, which is why we're so keen to have as many volunteers that can help us as we can. So volunteering with us, I'm really lucky that I have Anne and Sue here from the Watford shop who can share their experiences. But why volunteer with us? We rely on volunteers to help us run our shops. We have just under 400, shops across the UK. We have 4 within Hertfordshire. They're Watford, Hemel Hempstead, Welwyn Garden City and Hitchin. So they're the ones which I'm really hoping anyone interested will come and join us in. We're fully flexible in our roles. Obviously, there's a lot of roles that you can do within any retail charity. But we want you to be happy when you're with us. So we work around you and when you're available. We need help with all sorts of roles, from helping on our tills to helping us with our eBay, sorting our donations that come in, to running our shops if you have that ability, doing amazing window displays. We have what's called a brand ambassador role, which is quite new within Sue Ryder, which is where you will be given additional training in everything healthcare to do with Sue Ryder, so that when people come into our shops and express that they need support from us as a charity, we have you as a volunteer who's knowledgeable on all that we offer to be able to talk with them and guide them on what's within their local area to access that support. So that's a new brand ambassador role that we have. So yeah, our roles, window dressers, we have people that come in and do amazing displays, and that can be based on what's been donated to us, or it could be based on a theme of your choice. It's really quite fun thing to do if you're a creative person. If you're quite good on social media or eBay, or perhaps you're a student or a mature student looking to get into social media and marketing, most of our shops have independent social media and eBay accounts, and you can get first-hand experience of how to engage with the public online. Stock processor and till volunteer roles, they are strictly based in the shop. They are everything to do with the fundamentals of helping people in our shop and people donating or buying things in our shop. Our lead volunteer roles, they are for people who are looking for more responsibility when they come in. So they can do anything that a shop manager can do, from opening up the shop to delegating roles to our volunteers, to helping volunteers with training, to closing down the shop, and helping us with our takings and everything like that. So perhaps if you're younger, 18 plus, and just starting out in the working world, being a lead volunteer will give you great experience if you're looking for that. We also have department volunteer, and those roles are really good for a volunteer who has a niche interest. We have people that do this if they're interested in vintage vinyl, if they're interested in computer games or fine jewelry, and that becomes their department, and how they display things, how they record their sales that they've made, how they can improve on that or just expand on that. It's all down to them and their niche interest, and they take care of that. A general rounder is someone who does everything, and they're really fun roles for people who are really good at multitasking, because you can deal with anything from someone coming into the shop saying they've recently bereaved, to saying they want to donate this, anything and everything. So it's a good all-rounder role if you're not quite sure what you want to do, but you want to try everything. So the benefits of volunteering with us, you'll always receive full training from your shop manager who's with you and will look after you. Our shops often become families to our volunteers who are in there. Tell us what you would like to do or what you would like to gain experience in, and we can help you with that from the start. Travel expenses, we cover all of those when you volunteer with us. We'll cover your petrol, or we will pay for your bus fare, however you travel into us. So it will never cost you to volunteer with us. We offer ongoing training and support in various different ways. We have partnerships with colleges. So if you are perhaps looking to get experience, if you're returning after having a baby, we can offer that. So you can have that connection of volunteering with us to get real hand experience, whilst also perhaps doing a retail qualification that wouldn't cost you anything with us. We also offer 50% discount on our donated goods across all our shops in the UK. It's quite obvious to say you join a friendly and supportive team. The amazing thing about volunteers is that by nature, they're incredible people. And I often think a really unique thing that we have is that you have multi-generational friendships within our shop. So you'll have 18-year-olds best friends with a 75-year-old, and you really genuinely don't get that in many places. And it's a unexpected brilliance that happens within our shops. You'll also gain work experience and confidence when you're with us. So often if you're looking for work and you're quite shy and apprehensive about it, joining us in the friendly team gives you that confidence to, when you're ready, hopefully go on to paid employment. And again, we're fully flexible to suit you. So if you only have a Thursday afternoon or a Sunday, that's okay with us. Join us and we can absolutely work around you. So within Hertfordshire, we have our Watford shop, which is a town centre shop. And we're really looking for people who are able to cover Sundays and want to come in. Obviously, you can volunteer on other days, but where we're really short of extra pair of hands is on the weekend and Sunday in particular. Hemel Hempstead, all round, Monday to Sunday, whenever you're free, however much time you can spare. And the same goes for Welwyn Garden City as well. There's a few ways that you can get in touch to volunteer with us. That can be through the GoVolHerts website. We have those ads listed on there, and just click and I'll get in touch with you. Or you can join us direct on our Sue Ryder website. And again, someone will call you back, or you can walk into any one of those shops and our volunteers will help you. Just going to try and get rid of this now. I'm not quite sure how to exit my screen. Stop sharing. Okay, and thank you again that I have Anne and Sue here with me from our Watford shop under our shop manager there called Tina. So it'd be really great if you can tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do and maybe what you enjoy.
Hi, it's nice to meet everybody. My name's Anne. I've been volunteering at this shop now 5 years. I actually got my recognition certificate yesterday, which was lovely. Tina made it very special for me. I got into volunteering purely, it's something I wanted to do once I retired from working. I always talked about it. And I actually knew Tina and some of the team through my previous role when I worked for a bank and used to do the banking and everything, and got to know them and how friendly they were. So when I did retire, I popped on down to have a chat and see what was about and what I could do to help. So I primarily do the till here at Watford. I have done the pricing side of things and generally sorting. It's very much an all-rounder. It's a fab team to work for. Tina's a fab manager to work for. It's very flexible as well, so which is good, isn't it? So yeah, it's good, and I absolutely love every minute that I've done in the last 5 years.
Hi, my name is Sue and I work with Anne. I've been here just over 10 years. I came in as a customer many, many years ago and decided that what a lovely atmosphere. The people were so nice and helpful that I'd spend a few hours away from home, and I've got now a second family by working here. I do the window. I'm an all-rounder like Anne. I don't go on the till very often, but I'm usually in the back shouting and screaming at everybody, sorting things out. But generally, in all, it's an absolute fabulous shop to work for. And anybody who walks in and wants to be a volunteer, we'd welcome with open arms, and they could join the family as well. Tina is a great manageress. I can't speak highly enough of her. She's wonderful. She listens to all our problems and shares her problems with us, and we all get together and try and sort things out. In all, Sue Ryder is a lovely, lovely thing to work for, and I recommend it to anybody.
And one of the things about here, this shop in particular, we have regular customers, which is lovely. And they generally sometimes just come in for a chat, just to chat with you, and they'll have a look around and everything, but they just like that community feel within the area. So that, you know, and it just makes everything so worthwhile, because then they just go out very, very happy after just having a chat with you.
Thank you, Anne and Sue. That's great. So, you know, social interaction with other volunteers and members of the public in some volunteering roles. And
Yes,
thank you, Gemma, for sharing with us as well.
All right. One thing I suppose I do want to add quite quickly as well is that we're incredibly inclusive. So having a disability or a health condition isn't a barrier to volunteering with us. We mould our roles to suit you, and we offer reasonable adjustments. And we have what's called an inclusion passport, which means if you have a particular disability or health condition, we go through it with you and see what we can do to help you within our shops and with the shop manager. So don't let that be a barrier to volunteering with us. Although it's retail, it is very flexible, and the roles are, well, you can't imagine it until you walk through the door, really.
That's great to know. Obviously, I'm sure most organisations will do their best to accommodate people with different needs or disabilities. It will be easier for some organisations than others, but it's great to know how inclusive you are. That's absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Gemma. Thank you to all the organisations who have joined us today. It's great for us at GoVolHerts as well to hear a bit more about the work that you're doing.